that we bring to you in these classes. And that's part of it is when we talk to you, when we ask you to do these informational interviews, part of that is bringing reality and real life to you. What's expected, what will be expected. And so when you're doing these assignments and that we ask of you, sometimes towards the end, especially, we get that that's good enough. That'll do. I've done enough. That's good enough. Okay. And I want you to think about that as far as a professional. That's good enough. And I want you to think how that plays out because you're representing yourself as a professional. How many people are representing themselves as their professional self? This is you. This is you as a professional. And this is the work you put forth. Okay, I want you to think about that. This is your professional reputation that you're putting out there already. It doesn't start when you graduate. It starts now. This is your professional face, and you're on the job and you're 70% done. And I want you to walk up to that client and say, that's good enough. Pay me. How many people have ever thought about that? Has anybody ever thought about that? You're going to do 70% of the job, tell the client it's good enough, and you're going to walk away. Now take a look at those assignments. How many people just go, that's good enough and walk away? This is your reputation. This is what you're showing. This is your work. This is your work ethic. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because this is what faces forward. This is client facing. Okay. You don't get to tell the client how they feel about you. You don't get to tell your supervisor, you will feel this way about me. They go by what they see. They go by your attitudes. They go by your work. They go by the way you plan, how you do it, how you work with others. You may be very skilled, but if you make everybody around you miserable, you won't be skilled there very long because your skills won't keep you in a position if nobody wants to work with you. If you are part of a team and you get your work done, but you get it done so late that the next person on the team can't finish theirs, you are the weakest link. Goodbye. You'll be voted off the island. So as you're looking through your assignments and you're planning your time, and it does take time management to do your assignments to get them in, think about how this would work in your live career. You can't keep pushing things off and say, when I get in the real world, this is the real world. This is reality. This is now. Okay. In elementary school, we said in junior high, I'm going to do this. In junior high, we said in high school, I'm going to do this. In high school, I said, how many people realize now is now? This is now. Okay. Everybody needs to realize this is now. You're about out where we got to get this. Okay. This is the now. Everybody's capable. Who's holding you back? What's holding you back? Okay. Some, it's still like, well, if I do too good, my friends will think I'm a goody two shoes. I'm a nerd. I'm doing this. At what point do you go, they're not paying my bills? They're not the one that's coming home and having to figure out, how do I get by? If someone's holding you back, let go of them. Okay? Everybody got that? If somebody's holding you back, they're not a friend, they're not an ally, they're not there to help you. Business is business, and you are a business, and sometimes you cut your losses. If anybody is holding you back, You need to reevaluate that relationship and tell them, why are you doing this? Why don't you want me to succeed? What does my success have to do with threatening you? If you're afraid you're going to be left behind, fix you, don't break me. Okay? Everybody understand this reality check going on here. Okay? And there's a reason being. We have 5 days left. Okay, including today. 5 actual class days. How many people realize that? 5 actual class days. Today and 4 days next week. This is the last weekend. Okay? I just sent out a text message to people who are missing almost every single assignment this week. They have done nothing this week. Okay? Some of them will be coming around on Sunday asking for extensions. Okay, there are 4 days next week. These assignments have not been a priority for students. And I'm going to say students because you know what? They're not being professional right now. Boom. Has not been a priority this week. None of them have reached out. Hasn't been a priority. Come Sunday, they're going to ask for extensions. Do you think those extensions are going to go in Monday? No. They might go in Tuesday or Wednesday. Thursday is the last day. If it's not a priority for you, somebody type in the message or unmute their mic. Why will it be a priority for me? Because I have to go in and manually reopen that. Okay. When you don't plan, you create bottlenecks. So extensions are never guaranteed. So you could end up with a situation where you have a whole week's worth of assignments that you had to make up in one day. Now, would I do that? No, I'm not that kind of person. I'm not that petty. Okay. But that could be a reality. Now, I've gotten messages from people worried about not being able to get their debriefs and stuff done based on their mock interviews. Okay, anybody that's mocks their mock interview, your debriefs, or anything that is tied to that because of when your interview is, you're not going to get anything late. You're not going to get points off. But I get the impression that there have been classes that do this. Have y'all had classes where there if something is absolutely out of your control, you've had points taken off? Has this happened while you've been here? You've had that happen. I do apologize for people doing that. That is not right, and I'm sorry you've been treated unfairly. That does not happen in this class, okay? If I see that, I definitely won't. If people have asked for extension, I have given it. I want you to do the work. I don't take the points off. I want you to do these things because I want you to have the knowledge. The knowledge is more important, okay? The grades are there to show that you've earned something. You've done something. I've seen what you do. It's an acknowledgement, okay? I don't take points off for those being late, but you have to say, I need this open because I have to go in and I have to manually change that. Everybody understands this stuff isn't automatic. I have to do this individually for you. So if you don't do your part, I have to do extra work for you. It's a give and take. I'll gladly do it, but I need you to play your part. It's just like any other business relationship. You want this, I need this. You want this, I need this. When you go to get that job, you want the paycheck, you put in the work. You want the benefits, you put in the work. Everything works like that. It's not, I want this, give me. I want this, give me. I want this, give me. Okay. It's always going to be that. Everybody heard the thing, no free lunch, right? No free lunch. You work for everything. No one's ever heard that phrase. Okay, Joseph's heard it. Benjamin, you've heard it? Morgan? Now, you've had issues before, Morgan, so I see you connected. Yeah, there you are. Okay. Chase, you've heard that. All right. Everybody works. I'm concerned about the people that are getting behind because we're running out of time. Okay, so take a look, see what you have, bring those up to date. Tomorrow, final week assignments open. Make it a little bit easier on yourself. Go through those and see if there's some you knock out. The reason being that last week, people feel pressure. They see that final exam coming up. And how many people panic when they see midterm exams or final exams? You start to panic. You just get pressure whenever you see a test or an exam coming. Okay, Victoria. Yeah. Okay, I get that. Okay, I want you to be rest assured you have that study guide that'll be there, and your actual classwork weighs heavier than that. Okay, so take some of that pressure off. You can do these things. All right. You've got this. You've been paying attention or should have been through these classes, but have that guide ready. Don't just go off your memory. You think you got it, you should be able to find it on that guide. That's how you work with your tools effectively. You think you know it, verify your information, then go on. All right. So here we go. We're going to start this with a screen share today. I know that was a little bit heavy, but I had to let people know. It's like, hey, the class is coming to an end. People are behind. I believe in being full transparent, and I don't want you to get up to the last day and not have the ability to bring things to term. Okay. Usually I have an extremely high success rate in here, but success has to come with you. I can't do it for you, and I can't grade what I don't have. Okay. And don't assume because your grade is at the top that you can skip out on those last week assignments. I've had people at the highest grades and not do anything the last week, and they missed out on being successful in the class, and we welcomed them back for another month of enjoyment. All right. So here we go. Right here, next Thursday, coming up, 10 p.m. will be the cutoff. I will keep reminding because I will have people that will say, I was never told. Okay. I have to accommodate those that do not play by the rules. So everybody that does, we get to hear it. All right. We are in week 3. All the way down here. Many people have not done this LinkedIn profile. I do open each and every one of them and check them. I check all your work. Okay. Don't think that those hundreds that pop up there, those are automatic. I read each and every one of your comments that are in there. I read every single thing. I've had people throw things in there that haven't been the kindest things in the writing and think that I did not see them. Yeah, I did see them. And so I've made note of them as well. So please note that I do read these things. So know that your work is read, it is valuable, and I do see these. Okay, your mock interview debrief. Once you have your mock interview, you can go back and do this. I'll be adjusting everybody's individual dates in here based on when they do their mock interview. No one will get late dings on that. You may see it turn and say that it's late. That's the system doing that. I always override that for you. Okay. Career plan, step 2. Okay. One thing I want to point out right here, everything's pretty much 100 points. Right here, plan 2 is 200 points. It's going to weigh way heavier on your grade. You're going to need to put some more time into this. Don't think that everybody that just submits something automatically gets 200 points. You are going to have to put some thought into those short-term goals that go with those long-term goals. Okay. This is why I told you to make sure you're putting thoughts into those long-term goals, because you're going to have to put short-term goals that are going to have to tell you how you're going to reach that. I said, be very specific with those goals. If you put very generic goals, you're going to have a hard time putting them in here. If you just said, I want to be successful, well, now you're going to have a lot of short-term goals because you didn't lock down very specific long-term goals. So if that was the case, go back when you do this, put in brand new long-term goals and come up with legitimate short-term goals. Okay. You're going to have to do a little more work. So you're going to be putting it down in the format that was listed on this document here. So you will need to have it in this format. If you put it in a paragraph format, look for grades around 60. Okay, everybody got that? If you do not put it in this format, look for your grades to be in the 60s. Following directions is a big part of this, and you will get dinged if you don't put it in the proper format because that is part of doing a project. Okay, so you may have a lot of content, but if you type it out and you put it in a paragraph form as opposed to this format, your grades will be down in the 60s. Okay. I'm not going to go through and try to split it out for you. Okay. So giving everybody a heads up, you do have to read the instructions and follow them. I've been going through and people who have completely misread instructions or not following the instructions, I've been going back and correcting them and sending them back. Unfortunately, you're not going to have that when you get out on the job. You're going to have to read, interpret, and follow them. So the rest of the way through the class, you will have to be on point with the directions. Everybody understand that? You have to read and follow the directions. If they're not going to be on point the last remaining of the class, you will start getting marked down on those, okay? You have to read these things because those specs, especially if you're in welding, you're in electrical, those specs will keep you from either messing things up, possibly hurting yourself, or even killing you or your clients. Electrical, you don't want to burn down somebody's property and or house. And welding, if you are off by fractions, now a structure becomes unsafe. A trailer, it can no longer haul what it can, et cetera, et cetera. And of course, the medical fields, you can cause all kinds of injuries there as well. That goes for human and animal kind. So we're going to be tightening down those instruction following there. All right. So everybody's aware of that. As we get closer, we need to polish up these skills. It's not being mean. It's as we get closer, we're becoming more and more professional, and we need to be cleaning that up. So with this last week, we're going to be tightening that down. So that career plan step 2, we're doing that, and we're going to be doing this thank you letter. Okay, so that thank you letter goes along with that mock interview. If you didn't do that mock interview, you don't have anyone to thank. Has anyone missed their mock interview? I need honesty. Did you miss your mock interview and you don't have one or you don't have one scheduled? Did anyone not schedule a mock interview? Okay. So 100% people have their interviews scheduled. So you will be able to do this. Otherwise, this would be one you didn't do. Okay, so there is a thing here on writing some thank you notes. So there's some good examples here. This is a less effective one, and here is a more effective one. We're actually going to show you another way to do these. And so there is, you can go right into that. You can look at that. But we actually did an announcement here that went out today. Let's see, I need the business writing handouts right here. There is a PowerPoint, and then there is a template that went out but you can find this in your announcements. How many people actually are not reading the announcements? I always want to know that's honest. You don't read the announcements because there have been hints and help all the way through in those things and references that you could use. So if you haven't been reading those announcements, you've been missing out on things. And they're there for a reason. And this is one of them. It's taking a while to open here. They're there for a reason. There were things in there that told you things that you could have skipped possibly on some of those assignments. And so it could have saved you some work. Maybe you should have read them. Just saying. There's a reason why they're there. So let's see what this has here. And this is something that you can definitely download and use this for this assignment. So this is why I'm waiting for this to download. You'll also notice, just as an FYI, as we get closer to the end of the month, the end of the semester, the system will slow down. It's not your system and it's not your imagination. So anybody that's been in the online class, I want you to know, plan your time because as it gets closer to that Thursday at 10 o'clock, the systems will slow down because everybody is panicking across all the systems trying to get their last minute stuff in. Okay, everybody understand that. People waiting till the last minute are hitting the systems heavily and it's creating a strain on the systems. So the longer you wait to do things, the slower things are going to go. It's not your imagination. We see the strain on the system, but unfortunately, we can't do anything about everybody waiting. So it's not just this class, it's all the classes that are trying to compile all their PowerPoints, all their other stuff. Those are what's really killing the system. So let me download this and then pop it up here. It'll be a little bit quicker. Okay. So you can actually open this up and it's very, very simple. See right here, this is if you're actually sending this out as a physical letter. Look, it just opened it up on the screen. You got jealous. Okay, so if you're sending this out as a regular letter, this is what we call an your return address here. You physically put that in your information here. The date goes here. And then this is what we call an inside address. This is what you're or who you're sending it to. And the reason being is a lot of these companies, all the mail goes into one mailroom and one person opens it and then they send it on to whoever it goes to already open. This inside address tells them who to route it to. And then right here, see this regarding job posting such and such? That's telling them why you're writing to them. Okay. You're letting them know. And then it says, Dear Mr. Frainer, if you know who it's to, do not put to whom it may concern. Okay, do not put that. If you don't know that, you just leave it as regarding job posting, blah, blah, blah. You then right here, you tell them, why are you writing? You tell them why you are the best. Okay, how many people are still having troubles telling people how good you are? You're still struggling with that. You don't like to tell them that. This is exactly where you need to tell people how good you are. Okay? You need to tell people how good you are. How many people want a brand new car? Anybody want a brand new car? If I said I'm giving you a brand new car, yeah, we all want one. Okay, so do you want one with all the options? Or if I say, here car, or do you want the Lamborghini with everything on it, including a pizza warmer? and I list off 50 options, or you can have car. Which one do you want, Lamborghini or car? You want the Lamborghini with all the options. So when you are out there searching for a place of employment, you want to be the Lamborghini. You don't want to be car. Okay. So learn to describe yourself and describe yourself fully and very specifically. Okay. So you don't want me to walk up and say, this car has an interior. Next item, you want to say, this car has exquisite leather that is chosen for its unique ability to stay at the same temperature regardless of blah, 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 blah. You want me to go into the very detailed specifics. Do you understand the difference? By giving very specifics on everything that you are capable of, I'm able to go, yes, that's what I want. If you don't tell me specifically what you have, you're leaving me to guess. And that's not good. Okay. So you're leaving it open to interpretation. That's never good because the next person's going to keep me from thinking. And it's always best to not let people think. Okay. Tell them. How many people have seen a commercial on TV? You've ever seen a commercial? Now, how many people in that commercial, they tell you what you're going to buy. They tell you that you want this. They tell you that you need this, right? That's true. Yes, yes. They tell you everything, right? You want this burger. You want this. Yeah. They don't say, hey, we have a burger. Maybe go buy one somewhere. Be specific. It's okay to describe yourself because those are good things about you. And it's our right to tell this because these are the truths. This is why we don't lie about ourselves, because this is the true you. You have these skills. Go back to your resume, look at your skills, and go, I can do these things. This is me. I'm this good. Read that and tell that. Put it here. This is why you're the best. Legitimate thing. Not just, I'm the best at this. Okay, why? Because I can do this, this, and this. Take off that first part, I'm the best at this, and just say, I do the following. All right. Then this call to action. Okay. I'm looking forward to your call. I will be available on the following days. Let me know, blah, blah, blah. Your call to action. That's where you tell them what you want them to do. I'll be waiting for your call. I'm available on the following days. I'm looking forward to our next meeting. I can be reached, da, 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 da. Okay. And then you put your name, and this includes your resume. Don't forget to put a resume if you're mailing it. Okay. Now, if you're doing this as an email, you still have the date in there. You do not have this section here, but everything else down here is the same. Okay. So if you're sending that email out as a thank you note, you can follow this. You will have everything from the date and everything from here down. Everybody got that? That's the format you can follow. This same format will work for everything. Okay. Regarding, right here, you can say that you're leaving. Regarding days off. The only thing is you tell them while you're writing, you don't have to put in here why you are the best. You can put in your call to action. Please let me know that my time off has been, accepted, da 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 da. Always get everything in writing, especially time off, things like that. Do not accept that they just say, yeah, it's been approved. Has anybody ever had it's been approved and then your time comes to be off and they're like, you can't have that time off? Happens all the time. If someone says your time off's been approved, send an email. Per our conversation, you approved the following days off. Boom. Email it to them. Everybody got that. Every time you request time off, you cover yourself with an email. If you don't, and then they pull out and say you don't have the time off and you're going to lose hotel reservations, cruise tickets, anything, that's on you. Understand you're responsible for that, not them. You didn't get it in writing. Okay. So this right here will help you out. And there's a whole thing here for that. So please take a look at that. That was sent out to you today. So you can also find that under your thing. So you're going to do this. You're going to write this. And it's advisable that you send it to the person that did your interview. Now, the person who did your mock interview, you know who they are because you talked to them, so you should have their first and last name. More importantly, you should have got their email information because you asked for their contact information. Remember, don't forget to ask for a card or their contact information. That is part of your mock interview. All right, everybody got that? Don't forget to introduce yourself. Don't forget to get their name. And don't forget to ask questions before you leave, such as what is next? And don't forget to ask for that contact information. All right, those are all critical in an interview, including your mock interview. All right, any questions so far? Everybody's good? All right. Okay, so here we go. We are going to start this. Boop, 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 boop. Got that. And away we go. So we're going to talk about that structure a little bit more. We're going to talk about cover letters and those thank you notes and any other business letters. Okay, so there's a reason why we do certain fonts. Allegory, Times New Roman, Arial, they should be at least 11 points, left justified, do not indent, single space, double space between paragraphs, and 1-inch margin. All right, everybody got that? You're going to do all of this. Boom, right? Thumbs up, yeah. Good news. If you use Word, if you use Pages, and if you use any other, if you use Docs, trying to think of some of the, all these major ones, they are automatically set up as that, okay? This came about because this is what the court systems require, okay? This is what they agreed to before they would allow papers to be emitted that were not hand typed, okay? That's how this came about. So if you leave the default settings, when you go in to put stuff in and send it out, this is what they will be set up as one of these and everything else. You don't have to change anything. Okay, so there are parts. You're going to have a heading, a date, inside address, greeting, introduction, body, closing paragraph. Phew, sounds like a lot, but it's not. And understand that these are all part of a physical letter. So some people have, has anybody been in a situation they've never written an actual letter? Has anybody ever, or are you in a situation you've never written a physical letter? You've only done emails and that. Has anybody ever not? Okay. I knew we would get to that situation where people have never written a physical letter. And so it used to be part of classes going up. You had to write letters and postcards. And so, but if you write one, just like I said, this would be your address, of course, your date and your inside address. So we kind of went over that a little bit. And then here, this is what I was talking about. If you know the person's address. Now, this is going to be, if it's email or handwritten, you put Dear Mr. Frainer or regarding the job posting number. You can put Mrs., Mr., if you know the person's name. Never, never, never put to whom it may concern. Okay? Please do not do that. That's considered rude and improper. If you don't have a job posting number, put the title of the job and then that first paragraph. Why are you writing? I'm writing in regards to the job posting, blah, 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 blah. Right here, why are you the best? Does anybody have any idea what would be a great thing to put there? Anyone? Something that you do once and you use everywhere. What would be perfect to go there?
Elevator pitch.
Boom. Thank you. Perfect. I told you that's going to be used everywhere. Elevator pitch. Right there. Boom. Your paragraph's written. See why we do this? Everybody understand why we spent time on that elevator pitch? There's your answer to tell me a little bit about yourself. That's what goes at the top of your resume. That's what goes on your about section on your LinkedIn account. That's what's your paragraph right here on your letters that you write. Look, you did one thing. When you go and you're out there and you're networking with people, boom, here's my elevator pitch to you, to you, to you. You did one thing and look at that. You get to use it everywhere. How many people still don't know their elevator pitch? Honest, don't know it. Yeah. So you're going to struggle every time. You're going to have to come up with something every time. And, I appreciate that. You are being honest. There are others that just said, I'm not answering that. But by being honest, you can fix it. You own it, you can fix it. And that's what I like. If I don't do something, I own it. That's me. I may struggle with that forever because that's just me. I don't know what it is. Sometimes I just refuse to fix it. Anybody ever have that? I know I'm doing something wrong. I just can't fix it. It's like, don't touch that. It's wet paint. This, oh, look, I got wet paint on me. There's something I cannot fix in me. I know I'm broken that way. But if you use that elevator pitch, this fixes all of that. But some people, they just can't use that elevator pitch. I respect that. I understand that. Everybody's not the same. Okay. I told you at the very beginning, everybody's journey is a little bit different, and that's all right. They may not be able or feel comfortable using that elevator pitch. That's okay. But then when they come up with these things, they're going to have to write it fresh every time. A little bit harder, but doable. Okay. This last paragraph, this call to action, always give them something to do. It's like a little kid. Give them something to do. This call to action tells them what you want them to do. Okay. So you want to make sure you do that. And then this where it says Connie Reynolds here, that's a great place for that signature block. If you have your name, your email address, and things like that, put that signature block in there. Then you don't have to retype that. So this is what it would look like if you sent it out as a hard copy. But most people won't do that. This is what you send out as an email. Notice you got, of course, your address there, but this is where your subject goes, of course. There's the resume in there. If you have those images that you want to include, put them in there. There's your greeting right there. Then, of course, the content, thank you, this is why. And then there's your pitch going in there. Again, you're thanking them and it says, I look forward to hearing from you. Okay, boom. That's your call to action. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. I'm tossing the ball in your court. You need to contact me. And then here's the signature block. Here's my name. This is what I do. Here's my phone number. Here's my email address. Here's my LinkedIn account. Okay. And then this just breaks down exactly what we went over. Now, you're going to have to accept things and you're going to have to decline possibly letters to suppliers, customer complaints. You may have to do this. Okay. All these things. Some electrical companies, HVAC companies, if they get customer complaints, they actually want the service technicians to address them. They want them to answer those complaints. It's a way of building that bridge back. And it's happening in other companies as well. They want the person's complaining about to address it, to apologize, and see if they can fix the situation. So you may have to reply to customer complaints. Even if it was something you feel you did not do, you need to hear the other person's side of the story in a different way and see if you can make amends. So let's take a look. Here, you're addressing it. There is the same thing, the reason why. And here, you're telling them, okay, as soon as I receive your letter, I will do this. Okay. And so you're telling them, instead of I'm the greatest, you've updated it now. It says, as soon as I get this from you, I will do this. And then you thank them and you get out. Okay. So this part here, your call to action is all the way through here. I need this and we'll do this. Okay. You will be doing acceptance letters because many of these companies are larger and they want to get it in writing that you have agreed upon it because they will stop doing interviews. They need that back from you. Now, declining. You may not want a job once you hear everything. You don't just let it go. Okay. You're wondering why it takes so long to hear from some of these. They're waiting for responses back from people that they've made offers to that are just not responding. And they're waiting. So again, you greet the person, you thank them for offering, and it says, but right here, I must decline. And the reason why you do this is what if the one you accepted didn't turn out so great? You contact Miss Boswell back and say, I have had a change of opportunities and I would like to know if the offer still stands for this research assistant. You contact them back. And the reason being is now you have networked with Ms. Boswell. You understand that is now a network. Ms. Boswell is now in your network. Does everybody understand that? You have connected through that interview, and now Ms. Boswell is in your network. And so now feel free to contact her back and say, do you still have that job offer? And if she says no, do you know anybody else who might be looking for a research assistant? You go back and you build that connection. This is not lost, okay? But if you don't decline properly, it is. Everybody got that? So if you need to go backwards, you can. All right. So those same things happen. Always that same format. Brief them, tell them why you're writing, tell them either why you're the best and then what you need, or you tell them this is what's going on and get out. So everybody understand those formats and how you follow that. If you need additional help, Google exactly what you want. Decline job offer. Just copy it down and just change the information. Okay. But make sure you change everything that's proper. Otherwise, you're going to be telling them, I'm happy to accept the job as, and it'll say research assistant, and you're applying for a vet tech position. They're going to know that you did not create this for them. Okay, so be very careful with how you use technology. All right. Now, today I asked you a very similar question before, and I want you to rethink this one here. What is your biggest hurdle or obstacle that you feel will keep you from achieving what you want in your new career? Now, this is once you're in your career, what you want to achieve once you're in it. And how are you going to overcome this? So I want you to think about it. You are in there and you want everything in this career. How are you planning to overcome this? Because you have certain things you're worried about. And I want you to think about that. And what are you going to do to overcome these things? Because while you're worried about, you're thinking about ways to get around this. And the reason why I ask you to put these things down is because I want you to know every question that we've gone through, we have come up with solutions. And I want to say 80% approximately, your fears were almost identical of every one of your peers in here. Okay. Our fears are universal. They cross all careers, they cross all ages, they cross all genders, they are universal. We have the same fears going into these new careers. Okay. The class before you did too. And the one before that did too. And I want you to know that they are succeeding and they're doing well. And months from now, I'm going to be telling the same story about you, that you're succeeding and you're doing well. So when you're thinking about this, know that you will be able to overcome. So start thinking how you're going to do this. All right? Because you will, and you're already planning, even if it's not in the front of your head. We do. It's human nature. We think about these things. Some people will lose sleep. Some people, it's just kind of there. But we all plan, even the non-planners. Non-planning is a plan. Okay? So let's think about those things as we close out week 3. When we come back Monday, we will be in the final 4. So things are going to be wrapping up rather quickly. That last day, I want you to have maximum time for that final exam. So I will be asking the class if they want a recorded session that day. That will be an option. So that you have maximum class time to do that final exam, because I want to make sure everybody has it. That will be a class vote how we do that. That final day, I typically go over the final. I can do that as a video, or I can do that as a live session going over that. But I want to put that to a vote. That will be up to y'all how we will handle that. So I want you to think about how you prefer that last live session to be handled, and we will talk about that next week. So let me know how you want that last live session, because I want to give it to you in the format that you prefer so that you have the maximum time on that last Thursday. All right. So we will close this week out, and we will see you Monday at 10 a.m.